Hey everybody, today's video brings us out to Bluebell, Pennsylvania, and we're here at the Boehm's United Church of Christ, a very old, beautiful looking church. So the reason why we're out here today has nothing to actually do with the church itself, though someday I would like to actually go inside here and see what the church looks like, because I'm sure it's absolutely beautiful inside. But again, the reason why we're out here today has nothing to do with the actual church itself. The reason why we are out here is to celebrate a very important holiday, a world holiday. Yes, not a national holiday, a world holiday. And it does make sense why this is an actual world holiday, because today is the day where we celebrate a very important character in the world of literature, a very important character in the world of film, a very important character in the world of pop culture in general. Today is World Dracula Day. Yes, that is actually a thing. World Dracula Day. The day where we celebrate that classic character created by Bram Stoker. Pretty awesome, pretty amazing. And today we're walking through this cemetery out here for a very important reason. Not only because the cemetery just in of itself is beautiful. If you're like me and you're a fan of old graveyards, old cemeteries, this is definitely one to check out, not only because of the old graves dating back to a very, very long time ago, but also to pay your respects to a very important man who is buried out here, a man who has something to do with the world of Dracula. Now, I, for one, am a huge fan of the classic Universal monster films. I would say that 1931's Frankenstein would have to be my all-time favorite, but a very, very close second would be 1931's Dracula. Big fan. And also 1932's The Mummy, pretty big fan of that as well. And the man who's actually buried out here, the grave we're going to see today, is of a man who had something to do with all three of those films, which is pretty awesome. We are out here to celebrate World Dracula Day. Again, I'm a huge fan of the Universal monster movies. Leave a comment down below. Let me know, what is your all-time favorite Universal monster movie? Is it Dracula? Is it Frankenstein? Is it the creature from the Black Lagoon, the Wolfman, Invisible Man, and so on and so forth? What is your favorite Universal monster movie and monster character, and why? I would love to hear about that. So again, today we're out here on World Dracula Day to pay our respects to a man who helped bring us the iconic Dracula that we all think of today. I'm pretty sure when I say Dracula, a lot of you guys probably do conjure up the image of the classic Bela Lugosi Dracula. And there's a reason for that, because it's one of the most iconic, classic Draculas ever created. And this man who we're going to see, the grave of the man who we're going to see today, helped kind of bring that sort of icon, bring that image to the forefront, to pop culture. We had to pay our respects on a day like today. Now, actually finding the grave isn't necessarily the most easiest thing to do if you do not know where you're going. Once you know where you're going, it's pretty easy. But the first time I ever came out here, I had a heck of a time finding and locating this grave. So I'm gonna help you guys out. Over there on the side of the street next to the actual church is a parking lot. Park there, find the church, and then walk down the center walkway that does go down the center of the graveyard. And walking down here, come to where it gets to a T in the path, and then you hang a left. Take a left. This will help you find the actual grave we're out here to see today. Because again, if you are a big fan of the classic Universal monster films, or just a fan of 1931's Frankenstein, 1931's Dracula, 1932's The Mummy, and countless other films this man has something to do with, then you are definitely gonna wanna come out here and see this grave and pay your respect. So get to the fork in the road here, make your right, and the grave is right here. Not this one. It's actually, this is confusing, it's actually behind this grave, which is why I was not able to find this the first time I came out here looking for this, because it was kind of hidden. But this is the grave we're looking for, the grave of Edward Van Sloun, 1882 to 1964. Now, if you guys are not aware of who Edward Van Sloun is, he is the actor who played Professor Abraham Van Helsing in the classic 1931 Dracula. Yes, I did bring my 4K copy out here with me today. Edward Van Sloun, Professor Abraham Van Helsing, featured right there on the back artwork. That is him right right there. Pretty awesome, pretty amazing. Buried right here in Bluebell, Pennsylvania. Had to come out here on World Dracula Day and pay my respects. I am a huge fan of the Universal monster films. In fact, I think that these classic characters like Dracula and the Wolfman and Frankenstein and so on and so forth wouldn't be nearly as popular as they are today if not for the Universal monster films. I want to say they are the ones who really brought those characters into pop culture, into the forefront. It's because of the Universal monster movies that these characters are what they are today and are as popular as they are today. We probably always would have had vampire movies and werewolf movies and monster movies and mummy movies. They always would have been a thing. We always would have had movies like that. Because of the Universal monster movies, I want to say those movies are what made those characters so iconic, so popular. And when a lot of people think of Frankenstein and Dracula and the Mummy and the Wolfman, they conjure up the image of the classic Universal monster characters. I know I, for one, think that. If you said Dracula, I'm thinking Bela Lugosi. Like I'm picturing, if you say Frankenstein, Boris Karloff, it's coming to mind. I mean, these are the characters that come to mind when I think of those classic, just horror icons, if you will. And thanks to the Universal monster movies, I think these characters are as popular and are who they are today. And because of people like Edward Van Sloun, who helped work on those movies, these characters are as popular as they are today, which is pretty awesome and pretty amazing. So yes, we are out here celebrating the grave of a man who played a professor, the Professor Abraham Van Helsing, who was actually trying to kill Dracula on World Dracula Day. So yes, kind of ironic and kind of weird that I'm celebrating a man who played a character trying to kill Dracula on World Dracula Day, but whatever. Had to come out here and pay my respects to this great man and to this awesome gravesite here in Bluebell, Pennsylvania. This is actually not the first time I've brought you guys out here, probably not the last time I will bring you guys out here to see this grave. I have no problem revisiting sites over and over again. I've been out here maybe 20 times in my lifetime and will probably be out here 20 more times in the future. And I will probably bring you guys out here again to see this. I will revisit places I've already filmed at multiple times over and over again because I don't just go to a place once. I don't just go to a roadside attraction once. I don't just see a roadside oddity once. I don't just see a famous grave once. I don't just go out to a filming location once. I go to these places over and over and over again. I revisit them because they're awesome, amazing places that deserve to be revisited and deserve to be seen and gone to time and time again. So like I said, I've been out here maybe 20 times before, and I will probably be out here 20 times again. I love the Universal monster movies. I have loved them ever since I was a little kid. I used to watch them on TV. When I was a kid, I loved watching those movies. I did not care that they were in black and white. That was not an issue for me growing up. I was never one of those kids who was like, oh, black and white movies, I can't do it. No, I did not care. Black and white, color, whatever. A good movie was a good movie, and I loved the Universal monster movies as a kid. They never scared me. I was actually never really scared all that much by horror movies. When I was a kid, I used to love them. I used to love all the classic Universal movies. I love the 70s and 80s movies. The only movies that kind of scared me when I was a kid, or should I say definitely scared me when I was a kid, would have to be Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger, I just couldn't get past. He scared the ever-loving heck out of me. Jason Voorhees, Dracula, Frankenstein, Michael Myers, all these classic horror characters. In my head as a kid, I always knew they were just pretend. They were just Hollywood. They weren't actual real characters who were gonna come and sneak into your house and get you at night. But Freddy Krueger, I don't know if it's just because of the dreams or because of how he looked or what it was, something about Freddy Krueger as a kid freaked the heck out of me. I did not like Freddy Krueger and Zeebo the Clown from Are You Afraid of the Dark, the two characters that scared me the most as a kid. But when it came to Universal monster movies, man, did I ever love them as a kid. And as an adult, I still love them to this day. So again, today is World Dracula Day, and I had to come out here once again and pay my respects to Edward Van Sloun, 1882 to 1964, the man who played Professor Abraham Van Helsing in 1931's Dracula, also in 1931 Frankenstein, in 1932 The Mummy, and again countless other films as well. Definitely a grave I had to come back out to and pay my respects for. This is awesome. If you guys have ever been out here, leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear about you and your adventures out here at the cemetery, paying your respects to Edward Van Sloun. If you haven't been out here to pay your respects, get out here. Check out this amazing grave. If you're a fan of the Universal monster movies, if you're a fan of Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy, etc., get out here, see this grave, pay your respects to a very awesome man who played a very awesome, iconic character, Professor Abraham Van Helsing, right there. So awesome, so cool. So comments down below about how you're celebrating World Dracula Day. What are you doing today? Are you watching a Dracula movie? Are you coming out to a grave like this? Are you going to see the grave of Bela Lugosi? One of these days, I have to go to that grave and have to check that out. But how are you celebrating today? Me, I've come out here to see the grave of Edward Van Sloun, Professor Abraham Van Helsing, and I'm probably gonna go home and watch me some Dracula. Maybe the original here. Maybe I could watch Nosferatu. I could watch Dracula Dead and Loving It, or one of the many other tellings of the classic Dracula character. I don't know, but I'm thinking, since I have not watched my 4K copy yet, I'm probably gonna go home and watch this today on World Dracula Day. But how are you guys celebrating? Did you even know today was World Dracula Day? If you didn't, now you know. And next year you can celebrate. So let me know. Leave your comments down below. How did you celebrate? I would love to hear about your celebration of such an iconic monster, an iconic character in the world of literature, film, and just pop culture in general. But all right, guys, I am gonna let you go. So as always, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Check down below for links to Patreon. If you guys do become a patron, I will send you a postcard every single month from the road. Also check down below for a link to Spreadshirt, where you can grab yourself retro rest stop t-shirts, proceeds both from Spreadshirt and from Patreon. Do that help supporting the show, keeping the show going, bringing us out to awesome places like this. It helps put gas in Vanabelle so we can come out to places like Bluebell, Pennsylvania, come out to the Boehm's United Church of Christ, and check out the grave of Edward Van Sloun, aka Professor Abraham Van Helsing, from 1931's Dracula. Pretty awesome, pretty cool. And yesterday, I do believe I did forget to do a hashtag, so let's do today's hashtag, Children of the Night. That's what it's gonna be. Hashtag Children of the Night. If you watch this video all the way to the very end, and like I said, leave your comments down below and let me know how you celebrated World Dracula Day. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. So awesome, love it so much. So as always, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you do hit that subscribe button, or you are subscribed, then I will see you in tomorrow's video. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.